The most dangerous person in the room isn't the one shouting the loudest. It's the one who isn't afraid to be wrong. Imagine stripping away the fragility of needing to be right, allowing you to pivot faster than any rival. This is the art of intellectual humility, a stoic approach to professional warfare that lets you absorb elite insights while your competition remains blinded by their own pride. I'm going to show you how weaponizing your own ignorance can help you crush elite level competition and accelerate your career. This isn't about being modest. It's about using a white belt mindset to strip away ego-driven barriers that slow everyone else down. Learn to master the one psychological shift that allows you to pivot instantly and outpace everyone too proud to learn. One of the most famous practitioners of this mode of strategy was Abraham Lincoln and his team of rivals. Lincoln intentionally surrounded himself with people who believed he was wrong. He filled his cabinet with political opponents. Instead of demanding agreement, he demanded information. That meant every major decision was pressure tested before he made it. His ego wasn't invested in being right. It was invested in getting it right. Or how about Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's wingman and arguably one of the best investors of all time? Munger famously said, "Any year that passes in which you don't destroy one of your best loved ideas is a wasted year." His investing edge wasn't intelligence. It was being willing to change his mind. Most investors lose because they defend positions. Munger upgraded his beliefs. Or take Ray Dalio, the founder of Bridgewater, one of the largest hedge funds that's ever existed. Dalio built Bridgewater around one radical principle: I might be wrong. Employees are encouraged, even expected, to challenge senior leaders. Ideas must compete. Hierarchy doesn't. Dalio believes reality wins arguments, not titles. I've mentioned on this podcast many, many times before that I am someone who has had to overcome a very, very debilitating fixed mindset. And with that fixed mindset, I often thought that I either had to have the right answer or at least look like I was smart instead of just being able to say, I don't know. One of my favorite things that I say now when people ask me a question, instead of trying to give them the answer that I think they want or something that makes me look smart, is one that I got from a former head of General Motors. He was a former General Motors board member. He ran one of their largest divisions, and I spent some time with him, and I noticed something that he would always do when people would ask him a question that he couldn't answer. He would reply with just that: I can't answer that question. That was his way of saying, I don't know. And from then on, I started adopting this practice. If I don't know the answer, I'll simply say, I don't know the answer. I went to business school. I went to SMU's Cox School of Business to get my MBA. Now, a lot of the reasons why I went were for validation and thinking that that's the only way anyone would ever think I was smart, is if I had a fancy MBA from a fancy school. And you know what the main thing I learned there was? It's that the smartest people in my cohort were the first ones to be willing to just hold up their hand and say to the professor, could you repeat that? I don't know what you just said. I didn't get that. I have a question. I don't understand. They were willing to be the childlike figure like Tom Hanks in Big and hold their hand up and say,
yes?
I don't get it.
And what it did for me was it made me realize that often the most confident and most capable people in the room are the ones that are willing to say, I don't get it. I hope this was helpful. I'm Jason. I'm out.